Good morning, girls. Today's grammar lesson is the beginning, or will mark the beginning of a very broad aspect of the English grammar. It is sentence structure. I've told you so many things about this topic. In fact, we've been learning grammar the whole session in anticipation of this. We've been waiting for this to come, and it's finally here. But I told you it's very broad, so it will take it bit by bit. Now, today's topic is going to focus on joining two or more sentences with and, but, or. Now, these are called coordinating conjunctions. We know that a conjunction is a word we use to join parts of sentence, two or more sentences. Okay, there are different kinds of conjunctions, but these are types of what we call coordinating conjunctions. All right. And there are more examples of coordinating conjunction, but today's lesson is focusing on the use of only these three. Now, back to the beginning. What is a sentence? We know that a sentence is a group of words expressing a complete thought. A complete thought. In other words, a sentence with a complete meaning. Okay? So a sentence is a group of words expressing a complete thought, comprising of a subject and a predicate. If it's a sentence, or for it to be a sentence, there must be a subject, there must be a predicate. We had a lesson completely dedicated to subjects and predicates. You can go back there to remind yourself. That was a sentence where we dealt extensively with finite and non-finite verbs. So you need to bring that lesson, you need to bring it to bear for you to properly understand all we're going to be learning on sentence structure. Okay, so now we know that sentences are a group of words that express a complete thought comprising of subject and predicate. Now, what is sentence structure? I'm going to break this down as simply as I can. Sentence structure is simply how words, phrases, or clauses are combined to form correct or good grammar. This is as simple as I can make it. Sentence structure, this word structure is not alien. Structure, the form of something. So when you talk about sentence structure, it's how you combine words, how you combine phrases or clauses together to make a correct grammar, to make good grammar. Okay, the combination of words, phrases or clauses grammatically. Now, let's go into today's lesson. Joining two or more sentences, okay, with and, but, or. Now, rule 1 says, 1a, we use and to join sentences when their meanings go well together. We have two different sentences now, okay? Two different sentences. And both of them have a connection in their meaning. And you know that joining them, they will go well together. They will match each other. In such a situation, it's okay to join with and. You're going to appreciate this more when we contrast it with the use of but, okay? So when we join two or more sentences, when we know that the two sentences or the two or more sentences we want to join have a meaning that go well together, it's okay to use and. Let's see. Example 1 says, Fiona has a bicycle. Her brother has a motorcycle. Now, these sentences go well together because they're telling us about something they own. Okay? Related ideas. Now, let's see. Fiona has a bicycle and her brother has a motorcycle. The relationship is both have vehicles. You see? Related idea. They go well together. Okay? All we did here is we just put and. We took the whole of this sentence, and we joined it with and. We didn't take anything away. Now C, 1b says we use but to join sentences when their meanings contrast with each other. The word contrast is not alien to you. We've been dealing with, right from grade 6, we dealt with compare and contrast essay, comparative essay in writing. So we know that when things contrast, it means they're opposites, they're opposing one another. So we use but when the meaning in the sentences we want to join contrast, when they oppose one another. Now let's see. Example says Ross is quiet. His cousin is talkative. So Ross is quiet, and we know that the opposite of a quiet person, a person who doesn't talk very much, who's always calm, who's always quiet, is a talkative person. A talkative person, a person who talks a lot. Okay? So since these are contrasting ideas, we use but. Ross is quiet, but his cousin is talkative. So quiet contrasts with talkative. Now let's see or. We use or to join sentences to show that only one of the choices will take place. This is something I've explained times before. When you've heard me, once or twice, you've heard me say sentences like neither this nor that, or either or. When I'm saying something and you say, teacher, how come you said this or that? And then you're using a singular verb when you've mentioned two nouns. Yeah, and I always tell you that because or is considered in terms of singular. If I'm using the conjunction or, it's considered singularly because I'm not going to be considering two of the nouns I'm listing or two of the choices. That is unlike and. When I say this and this, I want this. For example, I want a bag and a cap. And means I want both. But if I say I want a bag or a cap, it means one. I only want one at a time. One out of the two options I've given. Okay? So or means one out of the choices, not all of them. Okay, so let's see an example. It says, we can eat at a restaurant, we can have a barbecue at home. Now, we can eat at a restaurant or we can have a barbecue at home. So once putting or here means I either do this one or I do this one. I won't do both together. If I wanted to do both, then I'll use and. In which case, the sentence will still be correct, but it would have a different meaning. I hope you draw the distinction now. We can eat at a restaurant and we can have a barbecue at home. So, okay, I'm going to, concerning the second example I just gave, we can eat at a restaurant and we can have a barbecue at home. I'm going to point something out to you in the remember box. In such a situation where we have and, then we do not have to use the same subjects, but I don't want to make it confusing. So the whole of rule 1 talks about the use of and when the ideas or the meanings are related and go well together. Okay? Together. So plural, together, plural. Now, but contrasting, opposite. Quiet, talkative, opposites, okay? Or means choosing one. Only one will take place. So we either eat at a restaurant or have a barbecue at home. Rule 2.